Falcon Punch! Yes, the final episode of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier has finally dropped. All episodes are now streaming. What a ride. So now let's talk about this finale of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier with spoilers. That is a spoiler warning. If you have not watched all of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier at this point, don't watch this video unless you don't care. You know the drill. Alright, spoiler disclaimer out of the way. Let's get started. And it's funny because not a lot of people were huge fans of this finale. I mean, they liked it, but they did have some problems with it. I think that's the general consensus. And me, I saw maybe a couple of slight problems, but other than that, I thought this was a thoroughly solid finale. Because people seem to forget, this is the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Not each story is going to have a solid wrap-up because they're chapters. They're chapters in a larger story that is the MCU. So by the end of the show, there will still be some loose ends. And sure enough, there are. Which I'll get to when I get to the end of the episode. But for now, let's start at the beginning with the sick reveal of Sam Wilson's new Captain America suit. Which, I mean, dude, yes! That is, in fact, quite the badass looking suit. Sam Wilson's rocking the stars and stripes now and the wings. Which, I mean, come on, the wings and the shield, that is a sick power combo right there. The only thing is the half cowl. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I'll be honest, it does seem kind of hokey. Like, oh yeah, now it's a costume. But other than that, thoroughly dig the look. And dude, Sam is just doing all sorts of crazy badass things with that shield now. It reminded me of when Steve Rogers first got Mjolnir, and he was doing all sorts of crazy shit with it, like using thunder. It's like the same kind of thing here. Sam Wilson is the new Captain America, and he is going to own it. Doing all sorts of crazy tricks like throwing the shield out the window and then leaping out, flying and catching it. That one scene where he saves the guy, he's on the bridge and the helicopter's coming towards them, and he does the block thing with the shield and the wings. I was like, that is awesome! Full good use of Wakandan vibranium right there, let me tell ya. Yeah, Sam Wilson truly is Captain Falcon. Show your moves! And if you didn't get that reference, that means you don't play Super Smash Bros. And so for this big final throwdown at the end, where the Flag Smashers are taking those GRC senators hostage, everyone comes back to join in the fray. Bucky comes back, of course. Sharon Carter comes back. That was surprising to see, admittedly. And John Walker comes back with his ratchet-ass shield, which we saw him make in the mid-credit scene in the last episode. So now he comes all strolling up like, Morgenthau, we have unfinished business. I was like, oh god. That fake shield of his was so pathetic, honestly. I mean, it was getting bent. But honestly speaking, people are still hating on John Walker here. And I mean, I have been for the past season. But I gotta say, I mean, I think he's on his way to a redemption. Because through this whole season, he had the wrong method, sure, but he did want to do the right thing. He did have good intentions, you know? Shit. So when he made that choice to rescue those hostages instead of going after that one Flag Smasher, I was like, alright, he made the right choice. He chose to be a hero and save lives instead of being an asshole and going after the bad guys. And those are the hard choices right there. So I wouldn't call this a full-on Zuko-style redemption here. You know, I don't think this one good deed makes up for the bludgeoning of that one guy he did just a couple episodes ago. But you know what? He's on his way. He's starting that path now, and by the end of this episode, well, I'll get to that. Like I said, it is kind of a loose end, but I don't think John Walker's story ends here in Falcon and Winter Soldier. I think it'll continue later on. So, also in this episode, we do get the reveal of who the power broker is. And yeah, it's Sharon. At first I wasn't sure because she doesn't actually say that she is the power broker. You hear Batroc say, so you're the power broker. So I was like, okay, Batroc was just assuming. But no, actually the conversation that Sharon and Carly were having right before that does confirm that Sharon is in fact the power broker, which, alright. People are like, yeah, that's not a big reveal. We all knew that. And yeah, honestly, Sharon Carter as a villain, I think it's a neat twist. I mean, honestly, Peggy Carter must be rolling in her grave. Holy shit. Sharon Carter is slandering the Carter name now. That's bad. That's actually pretty neat. I think most people's concern with this is that Emily Van Camp is going to have to play a villain now, and I'm not sure if she's ever played a villainous role before, because I haven't really seen her in anything else other than these Marvel things. I have faith in her though. I'm sure Sharon Carter, aka the Power Broker, could be a really cool villain, like the business person kind of villain, kind of like Lex Luthor. If I had to guess, I don't know. But she kills Batroc, so Batroc's dead. I'm sure no one really cared about that. It is worth noting though, because Batroc has been in a couple of these things, and so now he won't be. Bye-bye, Batroc. Bigger kill though is Sharon kills Carly Morgenthau. Yeah, Carly Morgenthau, the Flag Smasher, is shot twice by Sharon Carter and killed. And as she's dying there in Sam Wilson's arms, her last words are, I'm sorry. And a part of me did feel bad for her. I don't know what to say. I feel like I'm the only person who actually cared about Carly Morgenthau in this show. I don't know what that says about me. I mean, she was kind of losing her mind in this episode, where she was like, I don't care if we die, it's a cause that's bigger than ourselves. And you can tell her lackeys were like, we don't want to die. Yeah, one world, one people? I don't think so. Not so much now. Not to Carly anyway. But yeah, Carly dies and I thought it was sad. Sue me. And so when Sam Wilson goes down and he gives this speech to the senator, I thought this was thoroughly awesome. Because he's like, yeah, well, people were loyal to Carly Morgenthau's cause. Why do you think that is? it's because you, the government, are not doing that great of a job. You need to do better, Senator. The way he told that right to his face, I was like, shit. That one woman's like, do you think it's fair for governments to have to be responsible for everyone? And without hesitation, Sam was like, yes. And I was like, yeah, that is the government's job. I don't remember if that's exactly what she asked him, but it was something like that. And he compares their situation of feeling helpless to himself, being a black man carrying the stars and stripes. He relates to them that way. The whole time he's giving this awe-inspiring speech, I felt like I was at church. Because he's absolutely right. Somewhere in heaven, Steve Rogers and Tony Stark are high-fiving. That or Steve Rogers is like, I told you Sam would be a great Captain America. Pay up, Tony. I just thought that scene was thoroughly great. Probably the best scene in this episode, if I'm being honest. I mean, aside from all the cool Captain America action we got. So then we get to John Walker's rebranding as U.S. Agent. Yeah, John Walker comes out in his new black and red U.S. Agent outfit, which is what he's known for having in the comics. And it's all thanks to Julia Louis-Dreyfus and whatever the hell organization she's representing. I'm still not sure what it is. People are guessing Thunderbolts, which people have been theorizing about for a long time now, with Thaddeus Ross leading the way. I don't know if that's ever gonna happen. I mean, to me, nothing's official until someone from Marvel comes out and announces it. I mean, that makes sense, right? So for me, my theory is that John Walker, U.S. Agent's story will continue in Captain America 4. Because I mean, from what we know now, where else would it continue? There might be a Falcon and Winter Soldier Season 2, but it hasn't been confirmed yet, so we don't know for sure. But the point is, I do like John Walker as U.S. Agent here, and now he's gonna go on his own path. He's gonna do his own thing with his own title, so if he wants, he can be a dick. He can be an asshole and not have to slander the Captain America name anymore. So that's good. Good for him. Like I said, I think he might be on his way to a redemption. Or not. We don't know. But the point is, I do like the end of John Walker's arc here in this show. I thought it was solid. If there's any scene in this finale that did feel rushed for me, it's the Nakajima scene. Yeah, Bucky finally goes back to see Nakajima, and he tells him that he is the Winter Soldier who killed his son. That was set up in the first episode of the show. He tells him about it, but we don't really get to see how Yori Nakajima reacts to hearing this news. We don't know if he's like, I forgive you, or if he reacts like Isaiah Bradley in the second episode, where he's like, get the fuck out of my house. We just don't know, because we don't see it. We see Bucky tell him the news, and then the next thing we see is Bucky leaving the apartment. So, okay, that felt kind of rushed. How did Yori react? Maybe it doesn't matter, but it's a story thing. It set it up. I kind of want to know, but oh well. The big feels scene in this finale, though, was with Isaiah Bradley. Because in the last episode, he was against Sam Wilson becoming the new Captain America. So when he did that in this episode, they hashed it out, and I really love the conversation they have here. Because Sam Wilson's like, yeah, I know the road ahead of me is gonna be tough, but I'm willing to fight that fight, because it is what is morally right. We fought for this country, we bled for it. I'm not gonna let anyone tell me I can't fight for it. I mean, that is so Captain America. And so Sam takes Isaiah and his grandson Elijah to the Smithsonian, where they now have this new exhibit, which will forever tell Isaiah's story to the world. And the way Isaiah reacted to this, I'm like, man, I almost teared up there. In fact, I think I did tear up a little bit there. I'm pretty sure this is the very first Marvel Cinematic Universe story to make me tear up. Yeah, so good on the Falcon and Winter Soldier for doing that, because that was so powerful. Oh my god, the hug would have been even more powerful if Isaiah had shed a tear there, but it doesn't take away. It's still really good. That was fantastic right there. And so that's pretty much the end of the episode. I mean, it ends with the barbecue back in Louisiana. Bucky is now treated as like the cool uncle. He's Uncle Bucky. And then the show itself gets a rebrand. Captain America and the Winter Soldier. Which, alright, cool. Yeah, that might be a little confusing, to mix up that title with Captain America, the Winter Soldier. But it's not a big deal because it's just on the screen for that one time and that's it. Now, if they make a season 2 and call it Captain America and the Winter Soldier, that's a different story. That'll be confusing for sure. So I'm not sure what they're gonna do there if that scenario comes along. But then we get a mid-credit scene, no post-credit scene, but a mid-credit scene, and it's Sharon Carter again. She does get her pardon, which is great, good for her, although maybe not so much, because she makes a phone call. She's like, hey, we now have access to government weapons and shit. I was like, okay, who are you talking to? She is planning something sinister. I mean, she could have thrown all that away now that she has her life back in the USA. Why she's choosing to stick with villainy here? I don't know. I guess we'll see though. So, in conclusion, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier I felt was Marvel's take on the political statement, which I felt this show actually had a right to be. Cause I mean, shit, it did that job pretty damn well. Got me pissed off at our government at a point. And so now the Marvel Cinematic Universe has a black Captain America. And yes, it has been confirmed that there is a 4th Captain America movie in the works, with Anthony Mackie set to star as the new Captain America, Sam Wilson. Which, I mean, that's sweet. A 4th Captain America movie with a new Captain America, I do think that is awesome. Kind of like how the 4th Thor movie is gonna have a new Thor, Jane Foster. Same kind of deal there. Alright. Now I feel like that movie's gonna be another passing down of the mantle from one Thor to another, which If that's the case, alright. But back to this. I do feel like Sam Wilson got more focus in this show than Bucky did, and I don't think anyone's gonna argue that. I do wish Bucky could have gotten a little more focus since the show is in fact called The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. But hey, you know, I guess that's what we get. Can't argue with what's set in stone. But ultimately, I thought this show was really cool. If I had to pick which one I like better, this or WandaVision though, I think I like the experience of watching WandaVision more than this, because WandaVision was just so unique. You know, I don't think there's gonna be another Marvel Disney Plus show like WandaVision. The rest of them are gonna be pretty straightforward stories like this was. Except for What If, but that's What If. But that being said, I love The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I thought it was thoroughly solid, a little bloated, sure. It did slow down a couple times, especially around the beginning, but I thought this finale was thoroughly solid. And now I can't wait for Captain America 4. Bring it on. I'm looking forward to seeing who comes back. Is Sharon Carter gonna be in it? Is John Walker gonna be in it? Is Bucky gonna be in it? Is Henry Jackman gonna come back to score it? Probably. Should be pretty sweet. So the finale of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, titled One World, One People. Have you watched it yet? What do you think about it? And do you have any theories about Captain America 4? Whatever you think, go ahead and leave a comment. And don't forget to subscribe.